Singapore, let's play! 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 Singapore, let's come to the match 6. Crucial game as the Crimsons have won 3 and today's Crescents and Stars will be looking to register a win. Let's have a look at the wicket on where the action is going to be taking place. Once again, the curator and the staff have done a wonderful job and produced what I think will be a wicket that will play consistently for 40 overs. It's a firm surface, there's a bit of moisture on the top, so we'll aid the quick bowlers with the new ball. But later, as the game progresses in the second innings, spin will play a crucial role. But all in all, if you're a batsman, you can lick your lips on this. With a fast outfield, I wouldn't be surprised if the team winning the toss would elect to bat first. See you shortly with the toss.
Spinning bowling
The start. Crescents. To me, Crescents there.
Number is tails, and this is head. So home team, Crescents, you spin the
Crescent is head, right?
yeah.
Tails.
Well,
What's it going to be, Randeep?
Bat first.
How do you like the surface? What do you think a good score on this?
I think we're looking at 170 to 180. In the previous games we have seen that the wicket plays really well in the first innings. We're looking for a good score.
Any changes to your side?
Yes, Aman is resting today and we've replaced him with... okay, sorry, I missed the name. Who was it again? I'm not really sure. I have to check.
Go well. Good luck for the game, mate.
Thank you so much.
Manpreet, would you have liked to bat it first? Right.
I think fielding is alright because wicket is looking pretty good. I think second change also will be fine on this wicket also. So there's no pressure on all that on this wicket.
What are you looking to restrict?
I think below 140 will be good total for us. We restricted them.
Changes to your...
Shahrukh Da comes in and Ishan.
Good luck for the game.
Thank you very much, sir.
Have it. Elect. Let's play. Singapore, let's play. Singapore, let's play. Singapore, let's play. Singapore, let's play. let's play. Singapore, 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 let's Let's play. for game number 6 between SG Crescents and SG Stars. Subs, welcome to the Combox. Good evening.
Good evening, Jamal. Delighted to be here once again. Looks another belter of a wicket.
Absolutely, had a good look at it. I think if the batsmen play sensibly and invest with a bit of patience, it should be a big scoring night.
You look at what's happening everywhere around the world at the moment. You look at the West Indies game. You look at the India match, the T20 they played against Australia. If you come to think of it, 100 overs, almost 800 runs scored between England and West Indies, and then the India game versus Australia, 40 overs, almost 400 runs.
Tremendous. I think the increase in run rates, all the factors such as player fitness, bats, grounds, it's amazing. It's phenomenal now. And the whole mindset and approach towards scoring runs.
The concept of a safe score will soon become redundant.
Absolutely.
You'll only know if the score is safe once the game is over.
And it looks like it's James Cox marking his run up from the Balestier Road end. And opening the batting for the Stars, looks like it's Arjun Mutreja. And stand-in skipper today, Virandeep Singh, the Malaysian international. Last time he got a quick fire 50 and he told me that he had exams the following day and he wanted to get back to Malaysia early. So let's see how it goes today. There's a slip in place and the boundary riders are a deep third man and a deep backward point. Straight away, James Cox finding his radar. He's easily been the quickest on shore, and he seems to have got over his no ball problem and adjusted to be bowling on the money from the start.
He has really impressed me, seeing him in the last game. He was online, he was the game changer, a bit, the 1 over that he bowled. Shot, and they're off to a flyer. No,
Yes,
fielded at deep point.
I think there's been some good analysis, and that's been a shot that Arjun has used early on, and they got the fielder in position straight away. So there's a good bit of cricket going on.
Well, all three teams have a coach, right? And that person, whoever that is making sure they're getting a full assessment of their competitors, their strong areas, their strong points, where they've been bowling. But also the wicket is just so true. You can just keep hitting through the line of the ball. Well bowled.
Yes, and that's another aspect the EPS has really brought about, that professionalism, that whole approach to training and strategy and execution, which has been, I think, a great beneficial factor for the players, and also that will be moving on even after the EPS and absorbed by the national team players.
You can see their standard getting better every game.
Virandeep Singh, tall, elegant right-hander, doesn't believe in much footwork, but he does it with hand-eye coordination. He played a beautiful innings the last time round. I'm excited to watch this youngster.
He's almost Tom Moody-like.
Absolutely.
Tall, lanky, a very languid style about him. Very well played. I think he's made that. He's kind of picked it from somewhere around middle and leg and placed it perfectly down to fine leg for 4.
Yes, I think that was a bit of a gift by Coxey with his pace, with the fine leg up.
Exactly.
But Virandeep Singh up to the task, makes him pay. 4 runs.
He was aware sometimes these shots could go straight to the fielder and you wouldn't make anything of it. Also, the fine leg was, even though it was inside the circle, it was a bit square. and at Coxey's pace, that doesn't help.
Absolutely. And I think this is where the straight fielders need to help out the wicket-keeper, who's the captain today, Manpreet Singh, in getting those angles spot on. It's a good comeback.
Good comeback, slightly slower ball. Beat him for the lack of pace on that one.
At the end of the first over, Stars 5 for the loss of no wicket. Yes, the Stars are coached by Singapore national coach Bilal Azad, very particular about his preparations, demands the highest of standards. The Crescents are coached by the Singapore national fitness trainer Ahmadullah Khan, my old teammate. We played a lot of cricket together, and he also silently but assuredly sets the standards for his team and lets all the players know exactly what is expected of them.
Bilal will be hoping for a turn of fortunes today. His side haven't done too well so far. They are hoping to pick their first win, if I'm correct. Second.
Yes, actually the Crimsons have won 3. The Stars have won 2, and the Crescents have won 1. And it's going to be a close game today. And it looks like the left-hander, Charles Vaiswa, the Ugandan international, will be bowling to Arjun Muteja from the Serangoon Road end.
Interesting choice. They brought him very late in the previous game. The game was almost gone, and he actually started with a good first over.
He's a very experienced cricketer. I had an opportunity to have a good chat with him. He also joined us in the comm box and also joined us in coaching on the weekends. Very intelligent cricketer, very good in his assessment of conditions and also excellent in his execution. And you can see straight away he's on the mark. He knows what pace to bowl on these wickets, and he comes straight, giving batsmen very little room.
He's got a nice approach. He keeps it very simple, very economical, and he's got a good line and length as he approaches.
He's almost from the Chaminda Vas mould.
Exactly.
Young Arjun Muteja, very fit cricketer.
Not as straight an arm as Chaminda. Chaminda was brilliant with seam position. I mean, he could... Well bowled. This is a good start so far. The 8 balls that have been bowled, they've all been... There have been no extras, no looseners, everything's been on the money. So talking about Chaminda Vas, I kept to him. I played in the inaugural World Super 8s under Alan Border. So we were all playing for a Malaysian invitation side, and it had 3 Sri Lankans. Sana Jayasurya, Aravinda De Silva and Chaminda Vas, and well bowled. That one climbed.
Bending his back, getting the bounce off this IA track. Good carry. Yes, so you've been on the park with some real Sri Lankan legends.
Yes, and believe it or not, our first game was against South Africa, and before I knew it, I was going into bat at 27 for 5. Pat Simcox had picked up everyone, and that should be a wide. It is.
Brilliantly kept there by Manpreet Singh, saved a certain boundary.
Yes, that one had a bit of carry on it. He bent his back and it was travelling, that ball. Arjun needs to crank it up a bit as a batsman. I think he's batting a bit in slow motion at the moment. He's a millisecond behind the ball.
He's a good, elegant right-hand batsman. But he's being faced with some good quality bowling here. And this is the real test where the Singapore national team players, they're up against good opposition, and every run scored, every wicket gained has true value. You should be licking your lips as the national chairman selectors.
This is also where there is a challenge for someone like Arjun, who's a very proper player. He needs a little bit of time. But he can really cash in if he gets the opportunity. That's an exquisite square drive through point. I still think the ball got a bit quick on him and went squarer than he probably wanted it to, but nonetheless, he still got 4 runs.
Is once
Lovely
again
shot.
He's been a youngster that I've seen come up through the ranks, and it's always a delight to watch him when he gets going. He might be a bit slower in his first 20 runs, but then he has the ability to accelerate and catch up, and he's also able to clear the boundary effortlessly almost.
He puts a price on his wicket, which is something I like. I played, and good early call. Virendeep wasn't probably expecting that run and woken out of his slumber at the non-striker's end. Single of the last ball. At the end of 2, they're 11 for no wicket.
Yes, the Stars employing a cautious start, also more due to good accurate bowling by the Crescents. I think apart from the 2 extras given away and that boundary ball, the rest have been on the money.
They started well against the Crimsons. The first 2 or 3 overs they started well, and then all of a sudden it kind of fell apart for them. And the Crimsons really came back into that game. James Cox into his second over. That one kept a bit low.
Arjun throwing his hands at it. Yes, I think if they learn from their previous game, it's vital on this wicket that you are stump to stump, and also that you use the short ball as a setup rather than to just intimidate the batsman. And whilst the ball is new, you got to give it some chance to move by having a slightly fuller length.
Shot. Good shot for 1 run to Minoff. Looking good, Arjun.
Surendra there doing the fielding at wide mid-off. It's another attacking batsman and a brilliant fielder. Very safe catcher. Got hands like buckets. Virendeep Singh on strike.
Beautiful shot, effortlessly picked. Over mid-off, all the way to the boundary for 6. Excellent shot.
Subs, isn't he pleasing on the eye?
He is, absolutely.
Such an elegant player. Just leaned into that and lofted it over wide long off for an effortless 6. Beautiful shot. The crowd really building up here at the Indian Association grounds. If you're anywhere nearby, do come down. It's going to be a run fest. And as we speak,
And that's a comeback.
James
That's a great
Cox.
comeback, James Cox. You can't keep him out of the game for too long.
Yes, Virendeep Singh will be disappointed with that shot. Threw his hands at it and only managed a nick. The Crescents strike early to send the dangerous Virendeep Singh back to the sheds.
Played a bit away from his body. Didn't really get onto the ball there. Threw his hands. Didn't really throw the kitchen sink. He just kind of tried to tease the ball, if I could use that. And not good enough. Didn't connect. Caught by the keeper. I was telling you about the time I played with Chaminda, and I was asked to do the wicket keeping. Alan Border was the captain, so he kept in the second game. There were 3 matches, and we were playing the South Africans to start with. And I have never seen the seam as clear standing back. Now, it was amazing the variations he got on pace. It was very hard to keep to him. Of course, I wasn't a regular keeper, but he would have these variations, and then some of his slower balls would literally bounce in front of me, but you could still see the seam position, which was just incredible. You almost felt like he was spinning the ball through the air, if I could say that, because the ball was coming in. It was the incoming balls which were really, really big. And then they'd hold their line and go straight, but the seam position, immaculate.
Yes, he has the honor of dismissing the great Sachin Tendulkar the most number of times, and also getting a first ball wicket in games the most number of times. So he was accurate from the get-go. Looks like young Siddhant Singh, who's made his way to the center. Another very good young cricketer. This is very good bowling by James Cox. A probing line and length.
James Cox has been really impressive. He's been miserly, he's been accurate, he's been in the game. He gives you the feeling that he's expecting something to happen every ball. He's got that look, he's in his eyes. Bad keeping. Should have stopped that.
Keeping, as you know, and as per our former discussion, is a thankless job.
It is, yes.
James
Everybody
Cox
remembers the misses.
not helping the cause by sending that one down the leg side. Both these two players, young Siddhant Singh and James Cox, they are the two characters in their respective sides. And also Aditya Rangaswamy. They're very joyful, boisterous, and always have a laugh and a smile on their faces. But inside they are very competitive cricketers. And I was watching young Siddhant Singh yesterday do his fitness test. He's a very fit young cricketer. I think he came out tops on the beep test.
Excellent.
Doesn't look the fittest, but I tell you what, he's a fit young man.
Reminds me a bit of myself, Chama.
I think that was some time back.
I was a lot fitter when I played. Do not go by appearances now.
I take your word for it, Subs. It's Charles Weisfer to continue.
And I say this because when we got that, when Kapila Mendis and I, one of the best young players I've played with, my partner in crime, when we got that world record of 334, I still remember we ran something like 160 runs on that day, and it was 35 degrees, and we came back, 6-7 kilos lighter at the end of the game. That was the amount of fluids you lost. So you really had to be very, very fit, which is one thing I like about the EPS under lights. Takes a huge element, the heat factor.
Especially and the humidity as well here in Singapore. It's not easy. Kapila Mendis, wonderful cricketer. Charles Weisfer here really bending his back, extracting all the bounce he can get out of this Indian Association wicket. And once again, the ground staff, the curators, they've done a wonderful job. This
Good
is
run.
Good running between the wickets. Yes, we're going to miss Saad Khan Janjua today in the comm box. He's away in China on Asian Cricket Council duties, but he made sure he was on a conference call and wanted to have a look at how the wicket is. And he was happy with the way it looked. And I'm sure he's watching the telecast, and it's looking a beauty.
Yes, we had an under 19 selection meeting today, so he was missed, but of course he has his inputs, even though he may not be there.
Slip being positioned now, I think it's a good move.
Well played. Pushing hard, well run.
Excellent running. Call for that second.
Good cricket all round.
He called for that second straight away.
Was that Karthik, the fielder?
Yeah, that's Karthik Subramaniam.
Yep, Karthik Subramaniam.
Karthik Subramaniam, good fielder there. A good bit of running as well. Once again, Siddhant Singh, even though he looks jovial, he's a very sharp cricketer. It's one thing I really like about this young man. So Subs, tell us a little bit about the under-19 selection. What's your next assignment and how are the boys preparing now?
I think these are the World Cup qualifiers that are starting. It's a very young side. In fact, we're not able to, and the challenge we have is there are these different qualification ages given by the ACC and the ICC. Now, if we go by the ACC qualification ages, that's a wicket.
Shahrukh Das swallows it at mid-on. Siddhant Singh will be very disappointed. That ball was close to his body. He went for a pull shot, which wasn't on. I think Charles was deceptively quick. The ball came on to him a bit faster than he expected. Ended up giving an easy catch to mid-on.
It's that setup Vaisva has. He just comes in, he's very unassuming in his run-up, and the ball gets big on the batsman. It's on to you a lot quicker than you think it would be, and you can see over there. I also think it was a poor choice of shot, given the line of the ball, which was somewhere around second or third off stump, and it really got big on him.
Aditya Malik strides into the middle. Another very good, elegant, tall right-hand batsman. And these two, I think, would be ideally suited for this situation. They both run hard between the wickets, put a price on their wickets, and later on they can accelerate. Both are centurions in the 50-over EPS format. So they are in a bit of good form in this tournament. So let's see how they go. It was interesting, I was having a chat with the captains at the toss, and while the Stars captain winning the toss, Virandeep Singh, was very happy to bat, Manpreet Singh was equally very happy to have lost the toss and fielded, so both got what they wanted.
I think Manpreet was probably reminded of the last game, where they thought they had a good score, but it wasn't enough in the end. And I reckon he might have been thinking, you know what, whatever it is, let's chase.
Yes, exactly. Ghulam Mortaza, Pakistan under 23, Pakistani hopeful, good quick bowler. I heard him having a chat with Saad Khan Janjua. I'm sure he was digging his brains and got a few pointers. He was asked to mind the length at which he bowls, because his pace was wasted the other day. He was bowling far too short and he was spraying it around a bit and did not do the job the captain wanted of him. So let's see how he goes today.
And he bowled round the wicket a lot the other day, which again doesn't help much if you're a really quick bowler.
Yes,
that's a good start. He's probably had a chat with the batsman.
It's a beautiful run-up to watch, and the follow-through almost ending under the nose of the batsman. And this is what fast bowling is about.
That is a beautiful shot off the legs, over square leg for 4. Fabulous shot.
This is where Arjun Muteja is very dangerous. Classy player, used the pace of the delivery, slightly angling into his hips, effortlessly clipped it off. 4 runs back to the square. Beautiful shot.
Ghulam Murtaza really needs to get his line right. He's not, you could be as quick as you want. You're not going to be effective if you do not have the consistency to be able to bowl to your field. I mean, if you choose to bowl leg stump and you have the field set for it, then that's a different thing. But he's got 6 on the offside. He's got a sweeper cover, which he's bringing in now. So we are following the ball a bit.
Yes, I was just going to ask, I mean, as a captain, Zubs, you wouldn't have agreed to this, change the field for a bad ball. They seem to have had a plan initially, but he bowled a delivery that was not to plan, and now there's been a change of the field. I think with his pace, it's absolutely paramount that he comes wicket to wicket, try to get the bold and LPW decisions, especially in the power plays. Once again, lucky to get away with that. Had Arjun got any sort of bat on it, could have gone to fine leg for 4.
It was interesting to see Arjun move to offside there, especially after a fielder has just been put at deep square leg.
Good controlled stroke, glided it down to third man. Charles Weisfer doing the tidying up there. Yes, as you correctly picked up, I think he's moved his guard to almost a two middle from a two leg that he usually does take. Because with the deep square leg being employed, Ghulam Mortaza is also trying to sell him the short ball. Trying to be getting inside it.
That is a beautiful shot. Hit through the line again. Fantastic shot over long on 6.
Ghulam's getting a real work over here. Arjun Muteja holding his shape, playing it effortlessly, lofting it into the night sky. Magnificent shot, showing his class here. And a beautiful batting surface that is testament to that. High quality shot.
He's got to pull his length back a bit. He has to. With that kind of pace, it just becomes too easy if he's pitching it that far up. Oh, another good shot. Maybe I spoke too soon. He did pull it back.
Yes, he became a bit predictable there. With the full delivery, I think Arjun Muteja almost camping on his back foot, expecting that short ball. And once it came, he was good enough to pull it over deep mid wicket. Quality shot.
Overcorrected it. Went too short, in fact.
At the end of 5 overs, Stars 41 for the loss of 2. Once again, the momentum that was with the Crescents have been stolen by the Stars. This is very good batting.
They've added 30 runs in the last 3 overs. They were 11 at the end of 2. And the momentum clearly is back with them. It's also interesting to see Manpreet continue with Charles Weiswa. He's not trying to keep any bowlers or any of his overs for the middle overs.
Yes, Charles has done a great job going at just 4.5 and over, conceding only 9 of his 2 overs, and that is including 1 boundary. So he's got a good percentage of dot balls. Straight away, spot on. And I'm sure you'll agree, the way Arjun has batted has sort of negated the loss of those 2 quick wickets, and also has taken a bit of the pressure off Aditya Malik.
Aditya Malik, yes. What it also tells you is there's always room for a proper player in any form of cricket. Well bowled, that was quick.
And I think that's taking a leaf out of Vasi's book. It's moving it both ways off the seam and off the wicket. Very good wrist position, excellent seam.
Slippery customer, Vaiswa.
And actually, I wouldn't mind seeing a slip to him.
Indeed.
It's a good bit of fielding there by Arutraditya. He's made good ground and used all his volume to cover that. Don't be deceived by his girth. He's a brilliant fielder, excellent pair of hands, and he's pretty quick as well. Oh dear, had that hit, it would have been curtains.
He was gone. He was gone if that had hit.
And that's what you were talking about the other day as well. The slightly higher level teams would make those direct hits.
That's what makes them the slightly higher teams.
Because with all 3 stumps visible, if he had taken a bit more time, they could have had the wicket of Arjun Muteja.
Very good over this. 5 dot balls.
Something's going to happen right now. Aditya Malik too is a very capable batsman, both along the ground as well as lofting, but it takes a bit of time to settle in. The way Arjun's batted, he can afford to. Excellent bowling. Wonderful maiden. This is gold dust in a T20.
Maiden in the 6th over. How often do you see that in a T20 game? And this is where the other day we were talking about the value of being able to get off the strike and rotate and not make pressure for yourself. Batsmen have kind of undermined the ability to be able to do that. If Aditya could just get off the strike, pass it to someone like Arjun Mutreja, who's hitting the ball well, and Arjun on his part could look to either take a single or play as the ball comes. But you don't give the bowler 6-dot balls.
And what that pressure did was almost result in a run out.
It did?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
This is another good move. Roger Mukaza, the Ugandan international. And once again, I think the Crescents have analyzed their previous bowling effort and made the corrections to bring in Roger early in the innings. He also bowls a very tight length, a mixture of off cutters, leg cutters, but once again bowls it very tight. Now with the power play being over, we have more boundary riders.
I know we are going back a few decades, but two of the best when it came to taking a single were Javed Miandad and Martin Crowe. I still remember Martin Crowe would just drop the ball to Wasim Akram, Waqar Yunus, those kind of bowlers, and just make it a very, very easy single. And Arjun Arantunga, by the way. Great manipulator of the ball.
Powerfully driven down the ground for a single. Yes, I had the opportunity to speak to the great Javed Miandad and more often speak to Arjun Ayya, and that's a beautiful shot. Arjun Da,
Not with James.
keeps it down to 1. Yeah, Arjun Arantunga was the quickest between the wickets in the team that featured Sanath Jayasuriya, Ruwan Kalpage, Upul Chandan and the likes. So, there we go, brilliant bit of keeping. Roger Mukaza, pressure built up. Slight mistake by Aditya Malik, and Manpreet Singh does the rest. Flashy bit of wicket keeping, well done.
Brilliantly done, Manpreet Singh. That was lightning quick.
And both Javed Miandad and Arjun Arantunga, what they emphasized was when they strolled into bat, they had a good sense of which fielders were fielding in which positions.
Yes.
And if there was no second on, he would not waste any fuel, he would walk the single. But the moment he felt there was a 2 on, or he hit to a fielder from whom he can steal a second, he'd be flash lightning between the wickets. Yes. And of course Martin Crowe as well. And Dean Jones was another that I could think of. Brilliant runners between the wickets. Right, Sidit Shinde walks into the middle. He too is in form. Elegant right-hand batsman. Batting in at number 5 today. This partnership will be crucial for the Stars. Crescents will be happy. The momentum seems to be shifting between these two. It's almost like a tennis match.
Bit of a seesaw, actually. No, it's gone one way and then gone the other, and now coming back to the Crescents. I'm looking forward to seeing Kshitij bat.
Karthik Subramaniam there. Oh, Surendra, beg your pardon. Charges in, very good fielder. You don't want to take on his arm. He's got a bullet arm. Roger Mukaza, very good over there. Just conceding 4 runs. Stars 45 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 7 overs. Manpreet Singh does have a number of bowling options. So if one of his bowlers are not firing, I think he does not need to persist with them, especially in this crucial encounter. But he seems to be going back to Ghulam Mortaza, this time with a change of ends, marking his run-up from the Serangoon Road end.
You recollect he did the same thing in the previous game. And I was, as a matter of fact, I was surprised he started from the Balestier Road end with his first over. He didn't look right coming in that day. Not that he looked right bowling from the other end either, but again, and that's another thing I would have said to him as captain, if he felt this this side was not the run-up that he favored, then he might as well just start from the other side.
Once again, drifting down the leg side, easily helped away to the fine leg boundary by Sitij. This is not very intelligent bowling. Subhas, I wonder what your opinion is. I get the feeling he's running in a bit too fast, and that is not really allowing him to gather strongly and go through strongly at the point of delivery. Might be a bit overstriding. I feel he's not got his rhythm right.
This is where I also think, Chama, the captain's got to read the game a bit. You've got to read what's happening with your bowler and help that bowler with the right field. There is almost this insistence to have 6 players on the offside, and he's not getting that line or length. So what I would rather do is pack the leg side with what I can, and then invite the batsman to try and make room on the offside, because that's going to be tough to do at his pace. If he's not getting that line or length right, this is where Manpreet has to be proactive as a captain and say, listen, this is how his day is turning out today. Maybe I give him an extra fielder or 2 on the leg side and then bring things back a bit.
Arimanuchil doing the tidying up there. Sitij Shinde plays an uppercut to third man. Yes, I haven't really got the feeling that Ghulam Mortaza has got his rhythm and his line and length on this track so far. He could be such a dangerous bowler with his pace, but as Charles Weisfer has demonstrated, pace alone is not enough.
I don't think anywhere now. You look at the game in Bangalore yesterday, there was Nathan Coulter-Nile, Pat Cummins, some quick bowlers who were being tonked to all parts of the ground.
You're almost helping the batsman to use the pace.
No ground is too big anymore or too small. Well fielded.
Shahrukh Dar certainly saved 2 runs for his side.
That was a nasty bounce.
Got a bad bounce there.
And this is what I was talking about the outfield earlier. It doesn't quite feel 100%. It's a good ground, but there's a bit of unevenness about it. Good thing we have this glass in front of us, because that was coming straight for us.
And the net in front of the glass.
And the net in front of the glass.
That was a great shot. Sitij Shinde, very intelligent shot. Made room, used the pace, and played a little glide shot. Almost a ramp cut over third man for 6. The Stars innings is really gathering momentum. Ghulam Mortaza, unfortunately, is not.
Well, I just think to me, this is like a breakdown of communication between captain and bowler. There's got to be some more talk. Maybe they need to slow it down a bit. That's not helped either.
Yeah, this is just right arm over the wicket rubbish. You can't blame the captain if the bowler decides to have a mental breakdown in the middle of a T20 game. Unless Manpreet Singh was Joel Garner, he was not getting a glove on that one. Yeah, I think the seniors in the side and also maybe mid-on, mid-off can have a little chat to young Ghulam Murtaza. Like you said, slow it down a little bit. Take a breather. They are gifting runs here. This is not healthy.
See, Sean Tate used to have this issue in the Australian side. He used to be, he was a guy who could go up, who supposedly could go up to maybe 100, 150, 155 Ks, but he'd have these days where nobody could get through to him, and he'd be giving away 10, 15 runs and over in a T20 or a one-day game. And Ghulam Murtaza seems to be in that zone where he's kind of alone at the moment.
I'll tell you a little story about him. Star 62 for the loss of 3 wickets at the end of 8. Yes, he was nicknamed the Wild Thing. He came and played this 3-day game in Australia, and I was lucky that I was carrying drinks in that game. I had a good look at him from the boundary lines. He was clocking 160, no joke, but his radar was all over the place.
And you're never going to trouble good batsmen.
Absolutely not. And Australians born and brought up on quick tracks, they were just destroying him. It's good intelligent batting by Arjun, drilling the single. And what was disappointing about the previous short ball was not only did he concede a boundary, but he also gave an extra, which was a wide. And there are no unintentional bounces.
Well bowled.
And a great example of pace and control was Saad Khan Janjo. Actually, when he was bowling, he had a lethal bouncer. And it had almost a heat-guided signal to find the badge of the helmet. So it was not just about being quick. And he used to talk about having an eye in the palm, that is to be able to control and hit the areas which you look on. And that made him so much more a deadlier threat than just pace.
Oh, he's thrown it away. He's thrown it away. He has.
Yes, Roger Mukaza drawing the mistake.
After doing all that hard work, another 11.2 overs to go. Arjun Mutreja, why would you do that?
He'll be disappointed.
Having picked up what, 16 of the last over? But this is T20. This is where the game gets to you. This is where I still think the coolest heads rule the roost. Of course, unless you're someone like Glenn Maxwell, who only bats in one gear.
The two Ugandans, Charles Vaiswa and Roger Mukaza, have really shown how to bowl on this wicket. They've done nothing exceptional, bowled wicket to wicket, subtle variations in pace, and they bowled to their fields and had a good communication with the captain. And young Ghulam Murtaza can learn from this.
Unless you're immensely talented as a cricketer, the ones that really keep going up are those that really know what their strengths are and play to their strengths. They play with players who are better, so they can keep getting better. I think Roger Mukaza and Charles Vaiswa have shown us that they have a very good head on their shoulders. They know exactly what they do well, and they've stuck to a plan versus trying to overdo something with the ball or the bat even.
Walking into the middle, young Avi Dixit. He's been putting in a lot of hours, training hard on his fitness, on his bowling, on his batting. I've seen him really sweating away, working with Bilal Asad, the coach, and I'm sure that's going to stand him well. His team now needs him to do a job. Drilled to deep mid wicket by Kshitij Shinde for a single. And at the end of 9 overs, Stars 65 for the loss of 4 wickets.
It's that 4 wickets that's going to hurt them.
Yes, I think after this partnership, you still have Aditya Rangarajan, who can bat, Botswana international, and Husnain Shah, he can hit the ball a long way. And then it's Ahanacha and Arun Vijayan. So these two have to make sure that they bat deep into the innings and not really throw away that sporadic advantage they keep getting and throwing back to the Crescents.
The first thing they've probably got to try and do is not lose another wicket till maybe the 13th or 14th over at least.
It's a good bowling change. Manpreet Singh now really going for the kill, bringing in James Cox. James Cox in his first 2 games had the similar problem to Ghulam Mortaza, but he seemed to have made those adjustments and is now bowling a much better line and length.
Oh, just short of third man. Arimanuchil.
Avi Dixit gets off the mark with that rather expansive cut shot. I beg your pardon, that was Kshitij Shinde. Avi Dixit is now on strike. Tall left-handed batsman, marking his guard. Arimanuchil, another youngster that's been really impressive. He can hit the ball ferociously hard. Very fit young cricketer.
And I believe he's one of the cases where he qualifies for the ACC under-19 but not for the ICC under-19, simply because both the associations have a different starting line.
So I'm sure they'll try and work these technicalities out so as not to confuse the associate nations. And I think it's important to be consistent.
Yes and no. I don't know. Sometimes I think we've overcomplicated the game. It would always be the easiest thing to do would be just have the year and have the year as a cutoff rather than before or after September. That's a good shot through covers by Kshitij Shinde. Beautiful shot.
Kshitij Shinde reminding me of a West Indian back foot punch. Leaning back, blasting it wide off, mid-off. Excellent shot, 4 runs. Yes, I mean, I would go as far as saying if you're not cutting a birthday cake in that year, you're not 19. Simple as that.
That's it.
This is intelligent batting, rotating the single immediately after. I'll share an interesting story when it comes to over complications. Chaminda Was used to have a big problem with his front foot no balls, and Sri Lanka cricket sent him to all the possible specialists and camps and analysts and whatnot, to Australia, to MRF Academy, and he still had the problem. And one day he was working in the hot sun for hours with the bowling coach. Take you after this delivery.
That was quick.
Yes, that was through Avi before he could realize. James Cox generating good heat behind his deliveries. Yes, and one day he was practicing at the SSC, which happened to be Arjun Rantunga's home ground. He had come to have a light net and had a shower and was watching and had realized Chaminda Was being out in the hot sun working out on his front foot issues, and asked what the problem was. And having been explained that he had gone through so many coaches, analysts and all of this. Excellent bowling. Arjun Ranadunga just walked up to him in the bath towel and said, just mark your run up 1 foot back.
That's typical of Arjuna. That is typical of Arjuna.
And that was the end of Vasi's no ball problems. Yeah, these are legendary cricketers. Chaminda Vas once again had a great work ethic and is now coaching the under-19s. And Sri Lanka cricket really putting a focus on the pipeline, making sure we are having the good coaches at the under-19 and 17 levels. I think we are taking a leaf off India's book. They have greats like Rahul Dravid taking care of the under-19s in India. And then by the time you reach the national team, you're ready to perform.
Yep. Vasi was one of the bowlers who rarely bowled a no ball. Rarely. And that's also work ethic. This is a very good spell. It's turned out to be a really, really good spell.
Roger Mukasa has an approach almost like Sunil Narayan towards the stumps. But has great control.
Well bowled. Keeps you guessing. Keeps you guessing all the time.
And he gets through his overs so quickly, hardly gives the batsman any time to think. I remember, wonder whether there's a reason for Roger Mukasa running between deliveries. He's really rushing the batsman. This is also experience.
It is. Shetty missed an opportunity on the previous ball that was outside off. He could have. Oh, and he's going to be safe.
Arimanuchul giving it a good effort there.
Always tough, the ones that land in front of you. You never know. And you don't want to give away runs either. But good effort by Arimanuchul. I think the ball's hit him on his shin there. And
that would have hurt the ball. He's a solid built unit.
One ball to play.
Firefighter. And the wicket. Clean bowled him. Avi Dixit going back to a delivery where he should have probably gone forward to. And Roger Mukasa has once again drawn the error from the Stars batsman. At the end of 11 overs, Stars 79 for the loss of 5 wickets. Too many wickets for my liking have been lost.
And what a spell this has turned out to be by Roger Mukasa.
3 overs, 8 runs conceded, including a maiden, and gotten 3 wickets. Brilliant.
He's not done yet. He could get a fifer.
Absolutely. Looks like Aditya Rangarajan, the Botswana international, walking into bat now. Here's another great memory that I had of the great Rahul Dravid's coaching was they were housed at the Taj Samudra in Colombo when the under-19s were touring for the World Cup. And the curfew and the cut-off time was 9 o'clock. I'd come out and I saw some very familiar looking personality sitting outside the lobby with a plastic chair. And then I saw a few youngsters from the Indian under-19 team, probably dressed out for a night out. They came, they saw the personality sitting outside with the plastic chair, made a 180 turn, went back to their rooms. And it was the great Rahul Dravid. He was serious, very disciplined personality. And that rubs off on the youngsters as well. And as we speak, Ananta Krishna being brought on from the Serangoon Road end.
5 in.
That's a very interesting story because that's so typical of Dravid. Very unassuming. He commands so much respect from all levels in Indian cricket, the young, the old. the men, the women, the children, all of them. And he's the kind who would get you to do something without even asking for it. You just know. Ananta Krishna. Manpreet seems to have held him back today, bringing him. Well, he's really had no need. The bowlers have done a fabulous job.
Yes, the Pacers did a good job, apart from Ghulam Mortaza, and I think now towards the back end of the innings, it's time for spin, and he goes to his ace spinner. And Ananta has the knack of picking wickets up.
Well bowled.
That's an excellent delivery. Seems to have got into a good line and length straight away. I wouldn't mind seeing a slip. And as we speak, Arimanuchil comes into the slips. Good move by Manpreet Singh.
Oh, perfect. Almost perfect. He just brought the slip in for that. Brilliant captaincy. Unfortunately, the execution wasn't there.
Yes. Ananta Krishna getting the edge. And unfortunately, Arimanuchil, not my first choice for a slip fielder, drops it.
James, one only, James.
And that, again, is about match awareness. You've just been brought into first slip. You somehow got to be expecting it. I just thought he got up too early on that one.
I mean, look, he's not a slip fielder. He's built for the outfield. And slips is almost a specialist job. And now they seem to have the right option in the slips. Roger Mukasa got a good pair of hands. These are the little subtleties as you play higher levels of cricket that you need to be aware of. That's very close. It is more than close. It is out.
It'll be interesting to see the replay on that.
Aditya Rangaraj going for an expansive sweep shot.
I wonder where that pitched. In line with the stumps?
Or was it Arun Vijayan? I beg your pardon, that was Arun Vijayan. Seemed to have been promoted up the order. He went for a very expansive sweep shot. Let's have a look at this replay. Front on would give us a good idea.
I think he's a bit unlucky on that one.
I think it was a very well coordinated appeal by the captain, the wicket keeper, the bowler and the slip that convinced the umpire that had pitched on the stumps.
A very intimidating appeal by Ananta Krishna.
Yes. He's made a good argument and he's won the case. I would have him as my lawyer.
He's been watching a lot of Shane Warne. Shane Warne always thought a batsman was out when he appealed.
And that's one thing Ananta brings into the side. He managed to buy a wicket, do something, whether it's with the bat or the ball, when he's given the opportunity. He's a good student of the game. And Manpreet Singh throws the ball to him, and he gets the breakthrough that he was looking for.
They should really look to wrap this up now.
The Stars will be very disappointed. Bilal Asad will be pulling his hair out. And this is what happens when you don't have specialist batsmen. That could have been dealt with. Aditya Rangaswamy.
That wasn't a run. He might think it was, but it wasn't.
But had he used his feet and got to it on the full, would have drilled it anywhere. Stars 76 for the loss of 6 at the end of 12 overs. Crescents on top at this moment.
Kshitij has got to look to control the game from here. These are, again, like I say, these are the moments that come up on offer and you seize them. Look to control the game, keep the strike, work the ball in a way where you're getting as much strike as possible. Yes, Roger Mukasa is bowling very well, but That's poor fielding in his follow-through by Roger Mukasa.
Yes, he'd be disappointed conceding that single. Absolutely right. Subs, I think these are the occasions where real players with character stand up and control the innings. You can almost afford to knock the ones and twos off Roger Mukasa. He's bowling well, give him the due respect, and then look to be there at the end. And even try to get your team to 120, 130. Charles Weiswa, misfielding, very unlikely. He'll be disappointed with that. Now this is where the Crescents need to be tidy. They are on top, they have a stranglehold, they need to be almost like a python, put the squeeze on. Good intelligent batting by Sitish Shinde, knocking it around. I think he holds the key to getting Stars anywhere near a competitive total at this moment. Given out LBW, Roger Mukasa is doing the business. Aditya Rangasamy seems to be indicating he's got an inside edge to it, but the man that matters seems to think otherwise. Let's have a look at the replay.
He must also have got the ball to come back a long way, bowling round the wickets. This is where I think one of the best changes to cricket has been DRS, whether people like it or not. It's just got so much more acceptance, not just of the decisions, but even the errors. You know, umpires themselves can breathe a lot easier because I think umpires always want to conduct a good game, and what DRS allows them to do is exactly that.
Absolutely. And it always augurs well for the game when the right decisions are made. If you have technology, by all means use it.
There's a leg stump. Away from you. Slightly. Roger coming right arm round. 2 to play.
There's the replay. Well bowled.
Husnain Shah strides out to the middle. He's no mark with the bat. Can still do a job for his team. Once again, there is a slip in place, but that is Shahrukh Dar. I don't know whether he's the right man in the slips. These are the little things you have to get right. End of another very good over. This has been a brilliant spell by Roger Mukasa. 4 overs, 4 wickets for 11. He has really knocked the wind out of the Stars.
Shot them, you mean? They're the shooting stars now.
Charles.
Once again, Ananta bowling to the new man. It would be good to have a slip in there because he's getting the ball to turn.
Only one, only.
That was a full toss, knocked away to long off. Or was that Sridhar Shinde? Yes, that was Sridhar Shinde. I think that would have been even intentional to get him off strike and now bowl at the new man with the slip in. So this is good thinking.
And Roger Mukasa did the same thing of the first ball of the previous over where Kshitij hit the ball and he kind of let it slip.
And this is where Shinde needs to be sharp.
Easy, no backup there.
That'll be close. Oh. Extra run in the process. Overthrows.
Yes, Husnain Shah didn't look like he was creasing the bat at all. He might have been a goner had that one hit. He's back on strike.
Is Hussain a fast bowler?
He's a fast bowler.
Well, that explains a lot.
Well, there you have it. A fast bowler's cover drive.
A fast bowler's straight drive behind the wickets.
It went in the other V.
He deceived everyone for pace. The bat swing.
The Stars will take all the runs they get, doesn't matter how they arrive.
And while we are saying this, Hussain may just start connecting it and hitting it big.
He can hit a big ball.
Well bowled. Through him.
That was an excellent delivery.
Really quick through the air.
And did him for turn and just bowled him. Excellent drift in and then turn away. It's too good for Hussain Shah.
He doesn't bat a lot, Hussain Shah. Or he doesn't think much of it anyways.
From the evidence that I gather, he doesn't look like he bats much.
And he certainly has not played a lot of leg spinners. They're the ones that go away. Someone needs to tell him that.
Ananta will be very happy bagging these wickets. He's bowled intelligently and especially to give a single away to Shinde, first ball, and then get the exposure to Hussain Shah. Good thinking. He deserves that wicket. Coming in now to bat, Ahan Acha. The Stars need to understand there's still 42 deliveries, which is a long way. 44 deliveries, as a matter of fact, remaining in this game. And they have to bat the 20 overs, otherwise it will be criminal. If they bat the 20 overs, they'll get to 120, who knows, 130 even. And then they have the bowling to put up a fight. Sithij really needs to guide this innings. And that's how special players or class players not only score runs themselves, but they're also able to guide the lower order.
Listening to Virat Kohli in one of his interviews, and he offered a very interesting thought process or perspective to how to play in match situations.
Very good delivery once again. Misses everyone.
Buys.
4 buys.
Well, they'll take them in any form or shape, however they get them. They must somehow find a way to get to at least 120 and give themselves a chance from a runner ball. And in this interview, Virat Kohli was talking about, somebody asked him, so how does it feel? You've gotten all these runs and the way you keep scoring, and what do you think? And he said, I actually...
That's
a
a
poor
gift.
fielding.
Poor fielding. James Cox concedes 2 runs.
That really should have been fielded. For someone like James Cox, who's pretty sharp at the field otherwise. But again, that's the wobbliness of the ground, and this is where you probably take a step back and err on the side of caution.
Get your body behind it. Stars 92 for the loss of 8 wickets at the end of 14 overs. 36 deliveries remain. And even if they get run a ball, few extras, 1 or 2 boundaries,
that'll get them to 128. And Kohli, in this interview, talked about how he focuses on doing what the team needs at that point in time. And that's the message, that's the culture he's created in the whole team, which is why the side ends up having so many match winners, because they're not thinking of themselves getting a 50 or 100 or even a 25 or going not out or looking good. They think about what they need to do in that situation. And we were talking about this in the previous game. That's how players are now being assessed. They're not being assessed for their averages. They're being assessed for effectiveness and whether or not they can win games. That wasn't a case of trigger happy. That was plum.
That was missing everything, hitting middle.
Good bowling change. Once again, a good bowling change, and James Cox delivering the goods for his captain, pinning Sitish Shinde in front of the stumps. He seemed to be indicating that he got an inside edge, but that looked like it had gone through. Not the best of shot selections. Don't quite understand what he was trying to do.
I don't know if that was a signal for an inside edge or telling the non-striker to stay where he was, but that looked pretty plumb from where we are, crashing into middle and leg.
Yes, and going back to our previous discussion, that's the sort of mindset Virat Kohli has brought into this Indian side together with Ravi Shastri, is that there's nothing called play your game. You have to play the game that the match situation demands. And what a great success they have been. It's very good bowling by James Cox. I think the Stars will take 100 from here to begin with, if they can make it to the end of this over.
They'll take the moon for now.
Yes. Looks like Yang Hanacha now taking guard. And it's also a great testament to that coach-captain relationship, Ravi Shastri and Virat Kohli, and the man management skills of Ravi Shastri and the goal-setting ability of Virat Kohli. It has done tremendously well for Indian cricket. Oh, there you have it.
Brilliant fielding. Brilliant.
That is Aramanuchil with a dead-eye duck hand. Ends the Stars' innings. Bang. Yusuf Aslam, I don't know where he was wandering. He seemed to have gone for a stroll in the midnight, and he pays the price. At the end of this innings, Stars have managed to eke out 93 runs. They'll still have to believe that they can defend it, but the Crescents would be very disappointed if they don't overhaul this total. We will join you shortly with the Crescents chase. Welcome back to the live coverage. As the Crescents batsmen come out. Looks like it's Roger Mukaza and Shahrukh Da opening the innings. Roger Mukaza taking strike. And it's going to be Husnain Shah from the Balestier Road end. Stars would be looking for early wickets here.
The Crescents might be looking to get off on a flyer. .94 to win. They get off to a flyer, this could be over in maybe 12 overs. It's been quite a good wicket, and that score is hardly a reflection of the quality of the batting surface, which has delivered some great scores, some big ones between, and most matches have been evenly poised. Oh, that must have been close to a wide. First runs on the board for the Crescents, thanks to a no ball. Checking where he landed.
Free hit.
Husnain Shah, lucky the first ball was not given a wide. And maybe he was overjoyed and stepped over in the process.
Change the field, guys. Back to the position.
Is I hope the Stars quicks will not make the same mistakes as Ghulam Mortaza did. You need to be intelligent about how you go about this thing.
White ball. Free hit.
The free hit remains. We are barely into the game and already 2 extras conceded.
I was just saying, as I was just saying a little while ago, if the Crescents get off to a flyer, this could be over in like 12 or 13 overs. And
Roger
Mukasa has belted that through covers, taking maximum toll of the free hit.
And just the sort of start he wanted to get off to, with the free hit being conceded, all the pressure taken away. This is not very intelligent cricket.
Very Caribbean-like cover drive.
Absolutely. Husnain Shah building up good heat behind the ball, but the radar he needs to adjust and come in line straight away. Otherwise, he'll be punished. Much better delivery, comes a bit straighter, and the outswing shapes it away. Sithit Shinde there, standing in behind the stumps, in place of Aman Desai for the Stars today.
He's getting a good shape on the ball.
Absolutely. With this being a low total, I wouldn't even mind seeing another slip in there. Stars got to look for wickets. Subs, what do you think about this second come third slip? There's a big gap between the keeper and the slips. Do you think that should be plugged?
Never been a fan of it. Chamal, never been a fan of it. I call it hedging. Trying to keep a slip at second and then hoping it doesn't go to first or third. Just have the extra slip. A very late call.
Yes, good run in the end to mid-on. Aditya Rangarajan there. Shahrukh Da been asked by Roger Mokasa to stay awake. At the end of the first over, 7 runs conceded.
I'm told by Chamal that Shahrukh Dar is a hitter.
Indeed, he gives it a fair tonk.
I'm thinking of how many batsmen there are left who aren't. And he's from Pakistan.
Yes, he's cut from that mold. This is interesting. Ahan Nacha has been bowling brilliantly in this EPS. And he's been brought on straight away with a slip in place. Arjun Muteja, good slip fielder. Straight away. Wasting no time going around the wicket to the right-hander. Also a big thanks to all the sponsors, Mariners, KTP Exports, Synergy International. Great support for this EPS 2019, without which could not be possible.
I'd really like to see some more crowds coming for these games, Chamal. This is such a wonderful opportunity. There's so many followers of cricket in Singapore. It's a lovely venue, the Singapore Indian Association, and there is a bar, and there's food. Makes for a great evening to just come down here and watch some good cricket, especially after all the investment that's been made into it.
And I've been told that there's been durian ice creams added to the menu.
Well, the lobby is divided on durian ice cream. I'm for it, by the way.
Me too.
I'm for a lot of food, by the way. So,
Me too. This is very good bowling by young Ahan Nacha. You must be enjoying this. It's a selector.
he is one of my favorite cricketers. I like young Ahan Achar. He has developed really well over the years. He's got a lovely action, impeccable in his line and length. We could argue that he doesn't have that many that turn, but then again, I don't think spinners nowadays try and do that. They're so focused on containing. It's probably going down leg.
Yes, slightly optimistic. Yes, in the shorter format of the game, you're hardly required to turn it big these days. So we look at that replay, clearly going down the leg side. Sithit Shinde with his position, giving it away. It's a good over, tight, good over.
Oh yes, well done buddy, well done. Too good.
Virandeep Singh standing in for Reza Ghaznavi, skippering the Stars today. Seems to have got his fielders in the right position. There's been good pressure built up. Something's going to happen here.
Oh yes, Shinde, yes, well done, Shinde.
The thing we were talking about, Ghulam Murtaza, I think the field setting that they've got for Ahan Achar is a classic example. He's bowled a few balls down leg, and that's the captain knowing the tendency for the ball that will come with the arm and go down leg, and having a fielder in place for that.
One day.
And that's good captaincy. He's really hit that very well through mid-wicket. Rajam Kasa gets 4 for it.
Yes, Ahanacha spoiled what would have otherwise been a very good over in those last 2 deliveries, conceding a wide and a boundary. Powerfully built Roger Mukasa drills it through deep mid-wicket. He's also in a good bit of form, got a good half century the other day, and also bowled brilliantly today.
He gets a good score here. He's a candidate for the man of the match. I mean, with 4 wickets already, he's a candidate, but
Sorry, Hussain, can we get a move?
Yes, Husnain Shah here really needs to stand up for the Stars, get a few early breakthroughs with this new ball in the power play if the Stars are to have any hope of winning this game.
they have to try and bring in one more slip with the shape he's getting.
Shahrukh Dar doesn't believe much in footwork, so the outswinger will really test him, and it's important to have those catching men, especially when you're looking for wickets. That one really hurried. In sharp bowling, a good heat here. Shahrukh Dar didn't know much about that. He was literally seeing stars.
Husnain Shah gives you the impression of one of those classic professional cricketers who's been on the circuit for a while. He knows his stuff. He can go from place to place playing his cricket. And you're probably waking him up in the middle of the night and he'll still get shape on the ball.
Yes, plays first class and also plays in the T20 circuits and the Pakistan Super League, Qalandar, and that seemed to be a painful blow is induced on Shahrukh Dar, who's feeling the sting. The old magic spray being rushed out to the middle. That ball was quick. I have an interesting story about magic spray. It's about 10 years ago we were playing a Division 2 game and we had one player from Bangladesh, one of our captains, and he got stuck on the calf and he yelled out to the dressing room, "Bring in the spray." And it was my first season. Obviously we did not even have a first aid kit. I went into the changing rooms and the first thing I could get my hand on was the aerosol air freshener from the bathroom. So ran in with that and I told the skipper, lie down face first, and I sprayed him. He got up, shook his leg and continued batting.
It works. It's all in the head.
All that noise.
I was just going to suggest maybe you should try holding the bat again. Might just feel better.
Yes.
It's going off.
Might also be a sensible decision if he's not feeling 100% to get that finger checked out. That was a vicious blow. Brings in Aritra Dutta.
That's one way to get a batsman out.
Absolutely. And this might not be such a bad thing for the Crescents as well. Aritra He's a very explosive batsman. Plays those cut shots and pull shots almost impulsively. But today, since there's not much scoreboard pressure, the Crescents can afford to take a bit of time. Stars, they'll be looking to get wickets or knock men out any way they can.
This could be a double-edged sword at times, taking your time, because I'd still go for batting instinctively, like you said. You know, if you see ball, hit ball, because you can just dig a bit of a hole for yourself, trying to be too cautious, only because it's a small total, no ball.
And this has been something that Hosnain Shah has been struggling throughout with this tournament, overstepping. And once again to the new batsman, allows the easing of pressure. And I want to bring your attention to Aritra's technique here. Zubi, he seemed to be getting his front foot almost in a tangle across his back foot, and especially with the ball shaping away, he might be a candidate for caught behind or LPW here.
When the ball moves away, absolutely, yes. He doesn't really take a big stride forward. He's more someone who likes to play from where he is on the crease. And of course, to the tonk over third man like that.
When it comes to taking his own time for Aritra, it usually means one delivery. Down the wicket, bang, 6.
Enough, seen enough, let's get on with it.
And when he's on song, he's absolutely a delight to watch. He's got arms like pistons, climbing into that delivery. And Hosnain Shah's pace, ensuring it flies over the third man boundary. Wide signalled.
Had to be a wide, way over the batsman's head.
And a bit predictable as well. Played well by Aritra there, keeping his eyes on it, tucking underneath it. He's very comfortable playing the short ball. And this is, I feel the Stars are missing a trick here. Aritra starting well outside leg stump in his stance, and his momentum goes towards the covers rather than coming towards the ball. So if you pitch it up, he's more likely to nick it. That's a better delivery.
Someone like a Rahul Dravid used to do that. He used to move his back foot back and across, but then he'd have this huge stride forward if the ball was pitched up. You know, he wasn't shy of meeting the ball under the nose, as they say.
And also he played about 1,000 balls in the nets.
Yes, he did, daily.
Almost hit the helmet and gave 5 there. Hosnain Shah being a bit greedy, going for the magic ball, trying to swing it from outside leg. It doesn't work that way, does it? The moment you try to push it, you lose the shape and you lose the swing as well. Stars would be disappointed.
You can't have a plan every ball. A plan involves a number of balls. You know, you bowl a certain line, you set a batsman up, and then you execute a plan. And this is where fast bowlers, I think, try and do too much in a T20 game.
That's a much better delivery. He needs to be there, be patient. And like you correctly said, you need to bowl at least a few deliveries at one batsman. Whereas if you concede extras, give free hits, you start leaking both singles and giving away boundaries. And you can't have any chance of executing a plan.
There we go again, wide down leg side. He's hoping for the ball to take shape from leg stump towards first slip, but he had such a good thing going in the first over, and it's kind of fallen apart this over entirely because of him trying to muscle the batsman by some short pitch stuff, and he's gone off his line and length.
Yes, and from the experience, pro stars would be demanding more. That's where he needs to be.
Probably the full over. The shot that Aritra played where he stepped out and hit him over third man, if that happens, so be it. Good luck to Aritra. He tries something, he pulls it off. I wouldn't be too upset if I was captain if that happened. But this is pull your hair out stuff, you know, where a bowler is really trying so many things. You're absolutely clueless as a captain as to what you can do about it.
Yes, and that shot from Aritra, which went for 6, was as a result of giving him the freedom of a free hit. And he could hit it anywhere.
Course, yes, absolutely. Indeed.
It's a good thing that Saad Khan Janjua is in China. He would be tearing his hair apart seeing this.
His fast bowlers.
Or from any fast bowler for that matter. I mean, he was a classic example of control and pace, real pace. I've seen batsmen touch it and not wait for the umpire's decision and elect to walk away. He
Happy to get off.
Happy to get off. He had heat and the brains to go with it. Well, it's a great platform. Everybody's learning. They have to learn quickly. Crescents off to a very good start. Ahanacha continuing. He bowled a very good first over apart from the last 2 deliveries.
This will be interesting. Aritra versus Ahan Acha.
An optimistic appeal.
I always think Aritra is a candidate for spin bowlers.
Yes.
It's just his lack of footwork. It's great when the ball's coming on quick, but with spinners, it's a whole different proposition.
Oh, yes, you see.
Once again making room, trying to go through the offside. That cordon is well fortified. The short third man, backward point, cover, extra cover, and a long off. It's a brave young man, young Ahanacha, bowling in the power plays.
Good on, yes, Ani.
Well bowled.
Good, Ani.
Excellent bowling. And I think Aritra needs to understand there's no real rush.
I'm really not sure what he's trying to do.
And that was a wide ball had he left it alone. I think he'll do well to look at this footage and work on his footwork. All his momentum seems to be going towards covers as he crosses his feet.
I also think he's playing too much in his head and not really playing the ball. At some stage, a batsman needs to react, and he's trying to preempt and make something of it rather than just play the ball that's coming.
Okay.
Good running. And this is once again situational awareness. You need to understand you have an opportunity, you're not chasing much, you have almost the entire innings in front of you. Don't throw your wicket away. Put a price on it. As you can see, Roger Mukasa, the experienced pro, he's doing it exactly as that. I won't be surprised if he'll carry his bat through. At the end of 4 overs, Crescents 29 for the loss of no wicket. Shahrukh Dar retired hurt. Was struck by a fearsome blow by Hosnain Shah. This is a good change by Virandeep Singh, bringing in Aditya Rangarajan, the Botswana international. Left arm medium pacer, bowls off the wrong foot. Aritra in his mood, he's almost shot a ball.
Yes, I'd like to see him get a good 40 here.
I had this chat with Kumar Sangakkara once, and he was such a professional at assessing the game situation. And for example, when he played oppositions like Bangladesh, he made sure he got a big double. Plays to deep mid wicket. Siddhant Singh keeps it down to a single, but the return back not the best. Good backing up keeps it down to 1.
That's an interesting field setting. There's no fielder on the leg side inside the circle, except for the short fine leg. It's almost giving a run away without hardly even making an effort.
Roger Mukasa trying to exploit that field placing and hit it to deep mid wicket. Aditya up to the task, controlling the ball. Yes, absolutely. And right now, I think that fielder is wasted at deep square leg. Unless Roger Mukasa wants to make a lie out of us all. Hit it straight down his throat.
Well, he's still found the gap and has beaten that fielder at deep square leg. The ball going past mid-wicket boundary line for 4.
This is excellent batting. Roger Mukasa showing his dancing feet. Does a little shimmy, exposes the deep mid-wicket region, drills it through. This is good cricket by the Crescents. It's a much better delivery. It's bowling to his field.
I'm trying to understand why Aditya has a run-up. Because it all gets negated in that last stride where he goes onto the wrong foot and skips into the bowling stride. He gets decent revs up, speed on the ball, but it's all down to his last stride. And he can bowl a no ball.
Yes, umpire Ramsey has been very watchful, that front line. Yes, I think Aditya's run-up is more to do with building a rhythm. He doesn't sort of run in with any pace. He gently strolls rhythmically, then gets onto his wrong foot and delivers a lot of power with his shoulders.
Yes. Did he really do that? Because the last one climbed, it almost feels like he set the batsman up.
Yes, and that was a good delivery. I think he sort of rolled his fingers over it.
Probably cross seam.
Yes, and Sithit Shinde, standing in behind the stumps, did a good job to
stop that. Yes.
Stop it. Once again, drilled through backward of point. Roger Mukasa seizing on these stray deliveries. Also putting the bowler off with these little shimmies that he keep doing. Starting to look a bit like Elvis Presley out there. He's got the moves. At the end of 5 overs, Crescents 39 for the loss of no wicket. They'll be well pleased with this start.
It'll be 12 overs at this run rate.
"14 extras already conceded. Subs, this is criminal. As a captain, you'll be losing your hair."
The best part in the previous over was Hussain giving advice to Aditya on how to bowl and how to keep it tight. I think he could use some of that himself, given the way he bowled his second over.
Yes, fast bowlers have their own unique way of thinking, I guess. This is a good move, Randeep Singh. Another left arm orthodox option, replacing Ahan Nacher.
Smart captaincy because he's picked the far end for the spinners on both occasions. That's a 6-foot Kedar Jadhav. Virandeep Singh, side arm.
Yes, and he gets very wide on the bowling crease. I'm surprised he doesn't have a sweeper with that line and length he's bowling. And there we go, through the covers, into the fence for 4. It was getting a bit predictable. Aritra Dutra there, camping on his back foot, waiting for that opportunity to seize. And he's a powerful striker of the ball, built like a tank.
He is.
It's a wonderful youngster, both on and off the park, always trying to improve his game. Okay, this curtains.
That could be out. Yes, it is.
And that slides.
Raja Mukasa has no one to blame but himself. That was his call entirely. He called for it, and brilliant work at point by Yusuf Aslam.
He's a very good young fielder, Yusuf. Bullet to the ball and a good arm.
Good take by Kshitij Shinde as well. Very economical and quick to whip the bails off.
Yes, beautifully done. And that could be the breakthrough that the Stars needed, even at this late stage. That brings Surendra. Or it looks like young Ariman Uchil to the crease. Yes, it is. This will be very interesting. 2 powerful strikers at the crease. I see Shahrukh Dar here in front of the com box, nursing that finger. Seems to be all right. Getting some treatment on it.
Yes, good.
Few dot balls on the trot, building some pressure. Kshitij Shinde there, keeping the troops motivated.
Yes, good.
This has been a good over, well backed up by the fielding unit. At the end of 6 overs, Crescents 43 for the loss of 1, with Shahrukh Dar being retired hurt.
Coming left arm round.
Aditya Rangaswamy continues from the Balestier Road end. Seems to have gotten through his shot before the ball arrived. It's a compulsive hooker and puller. Aritra has told me this himself. Can Aditya Rangaswamy do something special here for the Stars? It's a good delivery. This is a good face with dot balls being built up. With the type of batsman at the crease, I get the feeling something's going to give here. And there you have it, the dot balls, the pressure built. Result, a wicket. Aritra will be very disappointed with that shot. Did not need to do that. The required run rate only a mere 3.7 when the Crescents were going so well. Concede another wicket. This is very good bowling by the Botswana international Aditya Rangaswamy. Gets the wicket his captain wanted. Husnain Shah making it look easy. Very athletic fielder. Right, that brings out the Crescents captain Manpreet Singh to the middle with a job to do. Can the Crescents finish this off with a clinical performance? This game is by no means over. Just goes to show what dot balls and a bit of pressure can do. Manpreet Singh. Very good right-handed batsman. Quick between the wickets. Plays around the dial, got all the shots in the book. The responsibility of captaining the Crescents. Let's see whether he can bat his team through to the end of this chase. Aditya Rangaswamy pumped up. Greets him with a short one. It's a nice way to say good evening, skipper. Welcome to the crease. Manpreet Singh comfortably gets underneath it, keeping his eyes on the ball. The boundary riders are still third man and a fine leg. There's a slip in place. And that's a brilliant delivery. Angling in, drawing the drive and leaving the batsman at the last moment. Excellent seam position. Neatly gathered behind the stumps by Sethit Shinde, indicating that that ball had good heat on it. There's almost a wide second slip. Arjun Mutreja. This is a very good over by Aditya Rangaswamy. Built the pressure, got the wicket. Crescents 43 for the loss of 2 at the end of 7 overs. We have a game on our hands here. 1 or 2 more wickets. That scoreline could read very differently. The Crescents need a partnership. They seem to be content, the Stars, to leave that helmet behind the wicket keeper. But in a low scoring T20, when you're defending and with the fast men bowling, I wouldn't mind seeing the 12th man carrying that in and out instead of risking conceding 5 runs. So the little things that you need to be mindful of. Husnain Shah being brought back in. Arjun Mutreja making an adjustment to where the helmet is positioned. Husnain Shah steaming in. It's really pumped up there. Coming in from the Serangoon Road end. So much better delivery. Tucking up Ariman Uchil, who's a powerful striker of the ball. He needs to understand what is required today is for him to be there at the end with his captain. Virandeep Singh employing a deep mid-wicket now. It's one of the favourite areas of Ariman Uchil. Likes to club it over there. That was rapid. Husnain Shah ensuring that Ariman Uchil doesn't wander down the wicket. The follow through ending up right beside the batsman. This is a much better over from Husnain Shah. Good change of pace there, almost foxing the batsman. Once again, 3 dot balls. I really wouldn't mind seeing a second slip in there. Get the feeling something's gonna give. Husnain Shah really bowling rapid pace here at the Indian Association ground. Seems to have adjusted his radar, bowling much better lines and lengths. The Stars putting up a real fight here. This is a great battle. And there you have it. The pressure that was being built up results in Ariman Uchil going for a Willy Wonka kind of shot. It was a nothing pull shot. The ball hit the bat. Pops up an easy catch to extra cover. Siddhant Singh doesn't make a mistake. Young Ahanachar, beg your pardon, takes the catch. Safe as a bank. The Stars are right back in this game. Once again, a big thanks to all our sponsors. Title sponsors, Mariners Cricket, powered by KTB Exports. And our gold sponsors, Synergy, Physiotherapy and Sports, without whose support this type of tournaments would not be possible. What a great platform being put up here. Karthik Subramaniam strides out to the middle. And I think he's the type of batsman that the Crescents would want out there in the middle in this situation. A very intelligent young cricketer. He's well aware of the match situation. Seems that they had crossed while the ball was in the air. So Manpreet Singh will be on strike. They need to play Husnain Shah out. And after that, the run rate still quite manageable. But right now, Husnain Shah is bowling brilliantly. Manpreet Singh beautifully behind the line of that one. At the end of 8 overs, Crescents 43 for the loss of 3. This is the key partnership for the Crescents.
Adi, I moved your marker. Adi, I moved your marker.
Aditya Rangasamy has really bowled well in his last over. He's inspiring his team
Coming left arm round.
with this fight back. He's bowling to Karthik Subramaniam now. Virandeep Singh marshalling his troops, making sure they are in the right places.
Go ball. Leave no balls on. Karthik, that's one for the over.
Yes, Aditya Rangaswamy in his effort to bowl that short ball seemed to have overstepped, conceded a boundary and a free hit as well. That would not count as it was a free hit. And now a silly overthrow. This is poor cricket by the Stars. Really, when you're defending a low total, they need to be a bit more sharper than this. And the Crescents need to realize they only require a further 44 from 71 deliveries and not really be in any undue rush. So good run scampered, good bit of backing up, good bit of fielding, good cricket all around. Might have been close had it been a direct hit, but Manpreet Singh very quick between the wickets. This is the hallmark of a good all-round cricketer. Karthik Subramaniam too, to his credit, excellent rotator of strike.
Go ball.
Well, it's another free hit. And Manpreet Singh blasts it out of the park for 6. Aditya Rangaswamy really would be disappointed. Keeps conceding extras, free hits. Umpire Ramesh seems to be calling these no balls.
No.
It's a good delivery. Manpreet Singh sensibly behind it. Has all the time in the world to play that shot. All marks of a quality player. It's not rushed by the pace. A very fit young cricketer as well. So another full toss on the pads. Player of the quality of Manpreet Singh. That's like dishing out bread rolls. Drill through deep square leg for 4. This is poor bowling. On the Crescent's part, extremely good batting. Straight away, rotating the single after that boundary. At the end of the 9th over, Crescent 63 for the loss of 3 wickets. 22 extras in that 63. Another 31 runs required. Unless the Stars manage a couple of quick wickets, the Crescents must be looking to cruise to victory. Virandeep Singh brings himself on from the Serangoon Road end. The Stars still got to believe something can happen here. If only they can bowl in the right areas and not give extras.
Yes.
Randeep Singh going wide of the crease. Bowling almost undercutters. This is very good running between the wickets. As far as these two are at the crease, one thing's for sure, the scoreboard will be ticking along. Both very good runners between the wicket. Once again, a slip coming in place. It's a good delivery. Beats him on the angle. That first slip almost standing at a second slip for the regular orthodox. Now short cover being employed as we speak. With Virandeep Singh going wide and bowling in with the arm. Might almost be advisable for Arjun Muteja to move a few paces closer to the keeper. That is not very good fielding. That catch should have been taken. Not much anticipation. Beaten in flight. Karthik Subramaniam survives to bat on. This is very intelligent batting. Using his feet, punching it down to long off. At the end of 10 overs, Crescents comfortably positioned at 66 for the loss of 3. The Crescents swarm firmly on the ascent. Ahanacha being brought back to the attack from the Balestier Road end. Can he do something special? Can he pluck away 2 more wickets? Make this game interesting. It's looking like the Crescents are cruising at this juncture. Brings in his long on into the field, into the 30 yards, I should say. Seems to have lost his run up there. Manpreet Singh comfortably behind that. There seems to be no slip employed for him. It's a long off, sweeper cover, and a deep mid wicket. Beautifully worked away to the deep square leg region for a single. This is very intelligent cricket on the part of the Crescents and Manpreet Singh, the skipper, understanding exactly what is required. And this partnership quietly reaching 24 of 17 could be the decisive partnership in this game. Good bit of fielding of his own bowling. Young Ahanacha keeping it tight. Karthik Subramaniam not taking any pressure whatsoever. So well aware of the match situation. And hoists that over the mid-on fielder. 4 runs. This is very intelligent cricket. Knew exactly where to deposit that delivery. Good run stolen there. Manpreet Singh, very alert. At the end of 11 overs, Crescent 72 for the loss of 3 wickets. Knowing Bilal Asad, he must be making numerous notes on areas to be addressing his team after the game, and in particular the quicker men. Ahmadullah Khan would be pleased with the performance of his team thus far. That's a very good delivery. Randeep Singh, tall left-arm orthodox bowler. Short cutaway, fielded well there by young Yusuf Aslam. Very good fielder there at backward point. Tucked away for a single around the corner. Karthik Subramaniam. And a good bit of backing up there by young Ahanacha ensures that an unnecessary overthrow wasn't conceded. That's a very good shot. Excellent placement. Manpreet Singh pleasing on the eye. Deposits that to deep mid wicket for 4. Waited on that ball. Punches it through mid wicket. This is very intelligent batting. Straight away finds the single. At the end of 12 overs, Crescents 78 for the loss of 3. Well on their way to victory here. Stars conceding 22 extras. That will be an area where they truly have to work on, especially up front with the new ball. Both Husnain Shah and Aditya Rangaswamy have been guilty of conceding those extras. Nacher continuing from the Balestier Road end.
One is good.
Manpreet Singh drilling it to long on. Manpreet having a little chat there to Karthik Subramaniam. I'm sure the plan is to milk those singles and bat through. Both these batsmen have shown excellent temperament. Down the leg side, real help yourself delivery. Karthik Subramaniam does exactly that, guides it on its way to the fine leg boundary. Stars would be disappointed with both their batting and bowling today. The Crescents well on their way to a command performance here. Comfortably played to long off. Siddhant Singh sends in the return. The Stars players on the park seem to have almost given up and going through the motions now. That's a beautiful shot. Good bit of fielding by Siddhant. Ensures there's only a single conceded. It's very good fielding there at wide long off. That ball was drilled by Manpreet Singh. Once again, brilliant running between the wickets. Manpreet Singh calling his partner through. Karthik Subramaniam responding. And a single earned. Once again, played to long off. Siddhant Singh, a busy man, demonstrating a good arm there with a direct return to the wicketkeeper. At the end of 13 overs, the Crescents 87 for the loss of 3 wickets. Looks like there's a change in the bowling from the Serangoon Road end. Arun Vijayan marks his run up. Arun Vijayan plays his local cricket for the Singapore Cricket Club. Wonderful character both on and off the park, but an absolute competitor once he crosses the rope. It's a bit late in the show, but he'll still be giving it a fight. Crescents requires 7 for victory. Starts off with a wide. And that's been the story for the Stars and their quick men today. Rather disappointing. That's a glorious on drive. Manpreet Singh really showing his class here. Waiting on that delivery, playing it right beneath his eyes. For any youngster watching this telecast, that's the way to play an on drive. Excellent shot, 4 runs. Looks like it's going to be an early evening. Crescents cantering to victory here. Short, slight misfield, and that should be it really. We got 1 more run to go. Manpreet Singh pulls it into the boundary for 4, and that's the game. The Crescents have won it by 7 wickets. An emphatic victory here. We'll see you shortly with the presentation ceremony. Good evening, and it's time for the presentation ceremony. And in the presentation party, we have the Deputy President of Singapore Cricket Association to give away the Man of the Match award, Mr. Subir Gatak. And today's Man of the Match, for his excellent 4 wickets in 4 overs for 11 runs, Roger Mukasa from the Crescents.
Well played.
Like to speak to the captain of the Stars. Commiserations, Vivandeep, bit short on runs, and the quick men were not up to it today.
Yeah, I think we didn't have enough runs on the board, and it's a bit harsh on the bowlers, to say that they didn't do well, because winning the toss, batting first, we should have made some runs first.
How was the wicket? It looked good for batting.
Yeah, I think no excuses. The wicket was very good. I think we just didn't apply ourselves well enough.
Good luck for the next game.
Thank you.
Like to speak to the captain of the Crescents. Manpreet Singh, congratulations. Command performance.
Thank you very much, sir.
How did the team go? What was the mindset leading up into this match?
I think I would give the credit to my bowlers. They bowled really brilliantly, and it was fully disciplined bowling where I wanted to bowl, and they was bowling there only. So I'm really happy with the bowling, man.
And when yourself and Karthik Subramaniam got together, what was the plan? Was it to finish it off?
Actually, we were just looking for single doubles because wicket is easy wicket to bat. I mean, the ball was coming on the bat, so I don't think it's very hard to bat. So yeah, we were just looking for the single doubles.
Extremely well played, and good luck for the next game.
Thank you very much, sir.
There you have it. We'll see you on the next game on the weekend. Good night.
Singapore, let's play!